Hey, what's up, guys? Sin here, and today is going to actually be the first part of a three-part video blog on the frames of comfort, seduction, and attraction. So today we're going to talk about attraction. First off, I want to give props to El Topo for coming up with the idea of frames being different in comfort, attraction, and seduction. That's definitely something that he pointed out to me that kind of led to a lot of the stuff that we're doing now and a lot of the new model of attraction stuff that I've got coming out. So today, we're going to talk about attraction, which most of the time is going to be the first phase, but it really depends on where the girl's at. So in attraction, there's 5 frames that are most important that you're going to have in the interaction. And the first one, the most important one in my opinion, and one of the things that is very rarely talked about in the community is fun. The fun frame, right? The fun is the ultimate DHV in my opinion. If a girl's having fun, she's going to keep talking to you. Doesn't matter if there's another guy with better game, doesn't matter if there's, her friends wanting to dance, doesn't matter if, she's got a boyfriend. If she's having fun, she's going to keep talking to you. So fun is really the thing that we're ultimately aiming to. And what is fun? Well, it's kind of hard to define, obviously, but it's a positive interaction. It's positive, enjoyable time together. That means not needy, not pressuring, not uncomfortable, but allowing the person to enjoy the time together. So that's the first frame. The most important one that we're going to talk about in attraction is fun. The next frame that we're going to talk about is the talkative frame. A lot of people, they think about, going out and running out of things to say. And that's why we do routine stacks. That's why people learn routines. That's why there's this whole debate between natural and non-natural game, and which is better, which is weird and an internet discussion that nobody needs to worry about. Try what works for you. But the idea is you're going to need to be talkative. Pickup is a talkative activity. You're going to have to use your words to attract her and then ultimately to seduce her. So it's imperative that when you enter a group of strangers, you do the majority of the talking. You've heard this as the 90-10 rule before, right? Which says that when you're approaching a group, you do 90% of the talking and they do 10%. That's really probably close to true. I don't like to bind anything into like specific percentages, but you are going to do the majority of the talking. That's a big thing, right? And the reason is you approach them. They didn't approach you. If the girls approach you, they have to do the majority of the talking. But you went out of your way to go start a conversation with them. The burden of keeping that conversation fun and interesting and avoiding the awkward pauses of death is on you. So be aware of that and understand that the bar of how interesting what you have to say is not that high. A lot of guys think that they have to compete with really interesting, charismatic individuals such as myself. All right, now, you don't need to compete with anyone besides the where are you from, what do you do guy. That's the basic conversation that she's going to be having 90% of the time when guys are hitting on her. So as long as you're a little bit more interesting than that, you're in good shape. All right, I got to speed up because we got the YouTube 10-minute rule here. So the next frame we're going to talk about is socially dominant. Socially dominant. Now, a lot of people talk about being social, and that's the idea that you're not out hitting on anybody. You're enjoying the process of socializing. You're meeting new people. You're enjoying them. You don't want anything. You're strictly enjoying the experience of meeting new people and getting new perspectives on life, right? That's one of the cool things about socializing is you get to meet a lot of different perspectives, a lot of different opinions, a lot of different kind of takes on life in general. And, you find people that you're compatible with, you find people that you're not compatible with. Well, I want to take it a step beyond being social, and I want to talk about the idea of being socially dominant. Dominance is one of the things that is evolutionarily hardwired into women to cause attraction. Women are attracted to dominant males. That's why women are attracted to guys with big muscles. It's why women are attracted to men who are rich. It's one of the major attraction switches is dominance. But you can't just walk up and start arm wrestling people or, shoving the guys she's with to the ground and fighting them. So what we have to do is we want to demonstrate dominance in the way of the 21st century, which is by leading the group in conversation, what's known as holding court in the pickup community. And what that means is that we become the center of the room. We have anecdotes and stories and teases and interesting things to say that the people are actually interested in listening to. as opposed to us standing there and being the guy who just won't stop talking to them, right? There's a major difference between being socially dominant and being rude, right? The big condition is that when you're socially dominant, you're adding value, you're not particularly trying to get anything. You only become rude when you keep forcing things trying to get a result. That what's known affectionately in the community as plowing, right? Plowing is the reactive staying in set to get a result and forcing the interaction forward when they're obviously not there. You have to remember that pickup has two parts to it. It's what you're feeling and what the other people are feeling. All right, let's keep going with the frames here. The next frame we have is teasing. Teasing is a really important frame because it makes everything lighthearted. In attraction, you don't want to get too deep. Attraction is not the time to get to know her as a person. Attraction is the time to show her that the two of you can have a fun time together and that she'll enjoy talking to you. So the teasing frame is also important because it shows that you're not going to be the next guy who's going to kiss her ass. Beautiful women are hit on all the time. They have guys offering to do things for them all the time. They have guys being really nice to them all the time. So you have to show that you're not the guy who's going to be super approval giving right away, right? It doesn't mean that we're being mean, right? I don't like the idea of neg hits, even though I used to teach them at Mystery Method, because I think that the idea of trying to lower someone's value is not a very alpha concept, right? It's alpha to bring everyone up to another level and to bring out the best in everyone else. It's kind of insecure and plays on insecurities to try to knock people down. So, but teasing is something that you should do with everyone. I tease guys, girls, it doesn't matter. Like, teasing is simply to show that you recognize the inherent flaws in the other person. And that sounds really bad, but that you don't give someone a pass just for being pretty is a very important thing, right? Like, it can be something as simple as, a lot of times, girls will jump really hard on opinion openers, you know? Like, they'll be like, ah! And that's not normal. Right? That's a little too invested. It's a little over-animate. It's a little worked up for the situation. So the guy who doesn't say that has not taken the screening frame, right? Whereas the guy who goes, oh my god, this is just like watching The View, right? To use a classic Community tease, or some other kind of off-the-head thing. That guy is showing that he's not giving a pass just for a woman being beautiful, that you're going to treat everyone the same. That's a very important thing. Right? The idea of teasing is that everyone's on the same level until they prove themselves. And later on, that'll become important in qualification with the screening frames and when you're trying to get her to show you that there are things besides her beauty, right? This is the first part of qualification, which is showing that you don't award special points for winning a genetic lottery. And the last frame we're going to talk about is the playful frame. Playful means you're not serious. You're not trying to have a deep discussion in a bar right away, right? You're not going to walk up and start trying to engage them in a discussion that's going to be really intense, you know, like you're not going to go up and start discussing Eastern philosophy or Zen Buddhism or, you know, the political structure of the United States. Instead, you're keeping it playful. It's fun, it's flirty, it's obviously not serious, right? Like you're telling jokes, you're making the interaction as non-serious and superficial as humanly possible. The reason being, you don't invest too much in people if you're a high-value male, right? You're not willing to give them the emotional investment that having a deep conversation conveys. You're not willing to be that invested that you're going to get passionate about anything yet. Now, that stuff will come later, definitely. There's definitely a place for getting deep. There's definitely a place for life discussion. There's definitely a place for passion. But it's not in the attraction phase. In the attraction phase, it's playful, you're messing with them, you're amusing yourself, right? And you're not interested in how they're reacting to you as much as in making the night as fun, playful, and amusing for yourself as humanly possible. And that's why we do the teasing. That's why we're socially dominant. That's why we are talkative. That's why we're fun. If you stick to those 5 frames, you will have no trouble getting attraction from any group, anywhere. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to attract every girl everywhere, you know, because you're not always going to come off the right way. But those 5 elements, if you can get them in there, guarantee attraction. Alright guys, that's the end of the 10 minutes, so I implore you guys to check out my video blog at sinsofattraction.blogspot.com and my regular blog, and I'll talk to you guys next time.